Hello, my name is Charlie, and this is my credo. I believe in the power of knowledge and that we all should learn from everything we can. We need to ask questions and learn from every religion we can find. Ask questions about their beliefs, learn their lessons. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Even if you're a Christian, you should learn from Buddhists. Even if you're a pagan, you should learn from Islam. I believe that there is an inherent spirituality to every person, and that it's okay if you take your time in discovering it. I believe that there is some sort of energy to everyone and everything, and that we're all connected in some way. Finding our spiritual selves can help give us an enhanced sense of empathy and care. Learning about other religions will teach you how to care for your fellow men and women, and everyone in between. It'll teach you how to love different people and how to appreciate the differences in all of us. As for whether or not I believe in a god or a deity or a higher power, I'm not sure. I would say I believe there has to be something, or at least a spiritual entity or energy. So many religions exist in the world, and so many claim to be the true religion, which doesn't seem logical or true to me. So let me ask a question. There truly is a higher power. There is no way it would be comprehensible to us, and we would only feel it. So why would it be so hard to believe that all religions, in some way, are connected? If you show 15 people an abstract art piece, they're going to have their own interpretations. I would imagine it goes the same for religion. Each person would feel it differently, each person would see it differently. All in all, we need to see each other's views. It is imperative that we understand our beliefs and love our fellow humans, no matter if they're Muslim, Christian, pagan, Buddhist, or literally any other religion. Love all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Hope Niles, and this is my credo. Maybe around 10 or 12, I was pressured into Christianity. Living in the Bible Belt in a small city is and was overwhelming. I had doubts about Christianity. Was this really what I believed in? Was this really how I was going to spend the rest of my Sundays? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. I would be told I was going to hell by multiple people and asked to go to church events with my friends. I would never admit that I was leaning towards Buddhism. However, I will admit that now. That feels really good to say. I was first introduced to Buddhism by my uncle and his friend Tom, who are here today. Hi, guys. To me, no one is really a perfect person, let alone someone following Buddhism. I'm a 10 out of 10 Buddhist because I try to see the good in everyone. I'm a 9 out of 10 Buddhist because sometimes I have road rage. I just got my permit. I'm an 8 out of 10 Buddhist because I like to ignore my mindfulness reminders to meditate. I'm a 7 out of 10 Buddhist because I dwell in the past. I understand and believe that everyone does have the good in them and the potential to become a better person. No one will go to hell, and this might seem a little odd, but I like to think that everyone can choose how they rest after dying. After living a life that someone has lived, I feel it's important to honor them how they like to be. Being Cherokee and Potawatomi, it's a strong thing to me that I need to honor my ancestors that came before me in the way they would like to be. This is something I plan to honor for the rest of my life. I believe that Buddhism can save lives, like any religion, truly. When I first walked into the temple for the first time, I was mesmerized and comfortable. By that, I mean almost falling asleep during the 20-minute meditation. Buddhism has showed me that not everything needs to be focused on when there's so many other things in front of you. I struggle the most with anger and resentment. It isn't something you would be punished for, but more rather be punished by. For me, anger is being rude for no reason, being upset for things that are under anyone's control, and having resentment for the smallest things. Resentment is the biggest obstacle for connecting to joy. Joy is the happiest feelings you can feel. For instance, I am and was filled with joy seeing everyone in my coming of age class actually connecting and bonding over the fact of getting up at 4 a.m. and hearing police sirens at 2 a.m. outside our hostel. Coming of age has shown me that not everything I do is weird or annoying. I can tell you that I have matured since coming of age, and I have been getting a little less stressed, and for that I am truly grateful. Thank you.
My name's Coulter, and this is my credo. I come from a family that is typically more spiritual than religious, so coming of age has expanded my views on what religion and spirituality are. I've made many friends, and my eyes have been opened to how others see the world. I believe that we evolved from nothing into something, not by the will of a God in the sky, but because of the laws of science. We are here to live until death, and nothing in life is promised except death. And I believe it's your choice on what you do with that. When I was young, my dad would tell me the story of the good wolf and the bad wolf. It says that there is a battle between them and all of us, and when the grandson asks who wins, the grandfather replies, the one we feed. We are faced with that decision every day. Because I wasn't raised in the church, I do not consider myself religious. Some people follow their religion because it is the right way to live for them and gives them rules to develop their own moral compass. But just because I'm not religious doesn't mean I don't have my morals. My grandfather has had a major influence on shaping my morals. When I spent time at his house as a kid, I would watch Mr. Rogers, who was one of his heroes. My grandfather reminds me of Mr. Rogers. He has kind eyes, he is calm, and he's able to see the good in most people. Just watching my grandpa and being able to be around him has changed the way I interact with people in my life. I know that we have limited time on earth, but some young people don't realize that. I believe that there is life after death, but I'm not certain what. Most people want to know what happens after death, and for some, religion gives them an answer to that question. Now, I'm not saying that people who believe in heaven or hell are wrong, but to quote Neil deGrasse Tyson, religion tells people what they want to hear, not what they need to know. I don't want to go about life hoping that I will get into heaven. I want to live in the moment, feeding the good wolf. Like Kanye said at the 2005 Grammys, if you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate the moment until it's past. So in conclusion, even though I believe that there is life after death, it may simply be our legacy, and it is your choice on what legacy we leave.
I am Aaron Gillespie, and this is my credo. Over my years on earth, I've come to find that the idea of one definition of God or religion is simply illogical. I've lived my life seeking things that are factual, confirmed, and consistent. Despite that, I do believe that there is some godlike figure. I believe it doesn't care to interfere in human matters or give laws because I believe that defeats the idea of free will. I believe humans can't perceive God or comprehend it in any way currently known, but I do believe that it exists. I don't have any way to describe God because I don't know where I could possibly start. I don't like to make simple conclusions in a world that desperately needs nuance. I believe that there is something after death because I don't want to live my life worrying about an inevitable nothing. I don't know what to hope for in an afterlife because I would like to focus on the life I currently have. Recently, I've been thinking about the idea of a soul and the sheer fact that I can see, I can hear, I can touch, I can taste. It's something that can't be explained. I'm not a single cell perceiving the world. I'm a combination of millions of cells that work together to create my mind and body. And the fact that I understand my existence is beyond explanation. My consciousness is something that science can't explain to me. I can't simply put it into words.
My name is Margaret Hope Hernandez, and this is my credo. Before coming of age, I only knew All Souls as my polling place. 4 months ago, we first took out our journals and were asked to answer a series of prompts. God is blank. Jesus is blank. People are blank. On January 5th, I answered this. People are of the classification Homo sapiens, descended from apes. Directly underneath, I wrote, people are hateful, in parentheses, inherently. In Boston, I was asked during my first one-on-one guide meeting if I still believed that people were hateful. Right now, I don't believe that people are inherently hateful, but that every person has the capacity to hate and to do hateful things. There is nothing in the world that I see that is more beautiful than people. There is also nothing in the world that I see that is more ugly than people and what people have done. People are able to be cruel and ugly and awful, but people are also able to be loving and kind and beautiful. To be human, I believe you must have the ability to love, but you also, inevitably, do have the ability to hate. Both are two sides of the same coin. The 1990 book Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman first put this idea of the inherent neutrality of humankind in my head. As the character of God says in the novel, it may help to understand human affairs to be clear that most of the great triumphs and tragedies of history are caused not by people being fundamentally good or fundamentally bad, but by people being fundamentally people. I do not believe in God, and I don't like to say that. The phrases "I believe" or "I do not believe" make the statement that follows sound like it is up for debate. In my mind, it isn't. God does not exist to me the same way that the sky is blue. No matter how many people tell me that the sky is red or green, if I look outside, it will still be blue. No matter what literature I read or what I am taught, God will never exist. By extension, an afterlife does not exist to me. There is no heaven, no hell, no neutral afterlife where we will all end up. As a child, I tried to believe in an afterlife, in a God, in a fate. It never worked, but I wish it had sometimes. There is a comfort that I will never experience because I will never experience faith. But at the same time, I am autonomous. My decisions, the good and the bad, are truly my decisions. I am responsible for the legacy I will leave behind, for the people I will affect, for my happiness and my sadness. I love the people I love on purpose, not because any God planned it out for me. I am a collection of everyone who I have ever loved and everyone who I have ever lost, but I made me me. That is not something I will ever give up for the belief in a God. While I do know that I will someday die, I also know that I will not be around to miss the life I had. Eventually, all things come to an end, and I plan to live my life focusing not on what will happen after it ends, but what is happening while I am living. I will do as much as I can for as long as I can until I cannot. Just knowing that everything will end should not change our plans when we begin again. Thank you.
My name is Luca Ward, and this is my credo. I believe we have control of our destiny. Whether or not we are created by a higher power, I think we have the ability to shape our lives. I think if a higher power did create us, they wouldn't let us cause pain or destruction. That being said, I believe humans shouldn't be described in blanket terms. We are far too complex to be called good or bad. We cause pain, but we also heal. And we destroy, but we also create. I don't want to spend my life worrying about death. Many people dwell on the idea of death and dread it for their whole life. I think it's a waste of time. I want to work to leave a lasting positive impact on the world and bring comfort to those around me. Above all things, I believe in ever-changing belief. The idea of people sticking to one set of beliefs for their whole life is foreign to me. At the moment, I'm agnostic, but as I encounter more in my life, that may change. Religions have a lot to give. In Boston, I learned at the First Church of Christian Science that religion can even help people through physical hardship. I am independent, though. I don't need a higher force to enlighten me or bring me comfort. I find comfort in my loved ones, and I find enlightenment in the people I choose to surround myself with. I believe I've had an amazing life so far. I often take for granted how fortunate I am. The mistakes I've made have made me into a better person overall. I'm so happy that I've met so many loving and accepting people who've let me be myself and not judged me for my issues. I think everyone deserves compassion no matter what they've done, and I want to be less judging of people and become a more loving person. I hope we can all become more loving people. Thank you.
My name is Starling, and this is my credo. I grew up in a witchy, spiritual house, and I didn't believe in anything religious. I didn't know what religion was. Well, I knew that Christians went to church and believed in something called a God. I wasn't sure what it was, and I didn't know about other religions. I remember in elementary school, I would always ask my friends about their crosses and would hear them talking about Sunday school and the Bible. I've thought since I was little that the earth or Mother Nature was God. And by that, I think everything on the earth came from the earth and we're all connected to it. I don't think I could believe in a God or religion, and I'm not fully sure why. I don't think something could have so much power as we say God has. But I am open to the possibility that there could be something more, as in any God or religion. I think we are all just existing and making choices for how our life goes. We were given this life to change the world, even if we're just living. I've never felt the need or want to believe in something like a God. I do think religion is a beautiful thing. And even though I don't believe in a God or religion, I will always wonder if there is a God or something more.
My name is Alyssa Self, and this is my credo. Henry David Thoreau says that goodness is the only investment that never fails. We should help one another whenever we can. Who knows? Maybe that person that you helped 5, 10 years ago, they'll see you and they'll say, "You helped me, now let me help you." That person you helped can go on to help others. It's not about helping because someone is looking, and it's not about helping because you might get a reward. It is about helping because you are capable. It is about helping because you truly care. And it is about helping because you want to make life a little easier for someone else. I believe love is vital. Love can make you feel like your life has meaning. Love can make you feel so many things. It can help, it can heal, it can bring people together, and it can save lives. I love music. I believe, for me, that music is a form of expression. Expression is important. I play many instruments. I play any string orchestra instrument. I play piano, and I sing in our church choir. I don't believe in God. The God that sits on the clouds in the sky is not my God. But I believe in his teachings. I believe that the Bible is important. Jesus teaches that you should love yourself before you love others. That if you don't love yourself, if you don't respect yourself, it doesn't matter if anyone else does. I believe love is powerful.
My name is Seb, and this is my credo. How to find meaning in a world where nothing lasts? A question I spent some time trying to figure out, but I think I got it down pretty well now. To find meaning in a world where nothing lasts is to make changes that last longer than you. Change is constant, change is the truth. We are all here because of change. When I was around 9 or 10, I asked my dad what he thought was going to happen when he died, and he said nothing. How boring. But then he elaborated. When you die, I think the people you know keep you alive in a way by remembering you so your spirit lives on. I agree completely. I don't know if there's a God or a higher power, but I do know that the people I love and care about exist. And all the people that care about me can make sure that the changes I've made go on and live. So I guess you could say I believe in humanity and the knowledge and love they carry. The love that people carry is far stronger than the hate. Love can sometimes bring us together. Love gives meaning to life. Sometimes all people need to know is that they are loved by someone, that they are not alone. This is why I believe in love. The knowledge that my parents and loved ones tell me and show me keeps me at ease. It keeps me grounded. When I am shown knowledge, it inspires me to act on the things I want to make happen, to make my impact on the world much stronger. Maya Angelou once said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Legacy is my meaning. I want to leave the world a better place than when I came into it.
Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you.
My name is Georgia Stolil, and this is my credo. I believe love is the meaning of life. Love gives life meaning, and love gives us life. I believe we are brought into this world to love and be loved. I believe there's some kind of godly presence in everything. Humans, animals, bugs, plants, rocks, everything. I'd like to think that the universe and God are connected or the same thing. I believe people can't be completely evil or completely good. I believe your actions and your words define you. I believe we have to create our own path in life. I believe prayer is a way to manifest your thoughts and your feelings. Prayer is a way to be grateful for the things you have and reflect on your life. I believe when we go through pain, it might not go away, but something will come from it. You have to look at the positives. Even small things on your path will get you to your destination. I believe loss is inevitable, and everything and everyone I've lost made me who I am. It is sad, but I'm also so grateful. I don't know what will happen or where I will go when I die. But when it's my turn to die, I hope I leave some kind of positive impact behind. The only thing promised in life is today.
My name is Leo Harris, and this is my credo. I believe that everyone has some sort of power. We all have the capacity to make a change, even just a small one. On the way to Boston, we were flying to St. Louis, and I was looking down on all the lights and thinking about how small we all are, how insignificant we must be. Then I thought about it for a minute, and I came to the conclusion that even though we are small, we can still make big changes in our community. I don't know if God is real, but I'd like to think that there is a higher power. And I don't know what happens when we die, but I'd like to think that there is something more, a heaven or something similar, because I'd like to see my family members who I've lost on the other side. Despite this hopefulness I carry, I believe nothing happens after death, in the sense that our bodies decay and return to the earth. We live on in the hearts and memories of everyone we have loved and touched the lives of. You live on through your accomplishments, be they good or evil. And I think that greed is the root of all evil and hate. One thing I'm saddened most by is neglect. Neglect of people and things, like crumbling buildings and unhoused people in need. I believe people have the power to change these things, but we don't because of greed. This irks me deeply. I believe that love is kindness and compassion, the opposite of neglect. We should check on our loved ones and take care of the places we love. On our trip to Walden Pond, I found a stark contrast to the bustling city of Boston. The soft dirt and pine needles were the opposite of the cold, cracked stone streets of the city. The pond was so beautiful. I heard the leaves and felt the wind, and then I stopped along the trail and gazed upon the thawing pond. I heard the creaks and groans of the thin layer of ice floating on the crystal clear water and felt at peace. The city has destroyed many forests, but has created new kinds of beauty. I believe that there is beauty in everything. You just have to learn to look for it. The grass is beautiful, graffiti is beautiful, and rocks are beautiful. And there is a beauty in the love and connections we have with other people. I think that we should seek the beauty in everything and love one another. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tilda Clyde, and this is my credo. I believe in God, but I can't say that I always have. Growing up at All Souls was amazing. I made some of my closest friends here, even some that I call my brothers and sisters. However, one thing I didn't grow up with was God. My dad grew up Roman Catholic and my mom was a Presbyterian, and they found their home in All Souls when I was very young. My dad is a biologist who studies the life and evolution of our world, and because of him, I believe in evolution and I believe in our planet. My mom is a teacher who teaches the new generation the words of our world, and because of her, I believe in language and connections. So growing up, I learned about the history of our planet. I learned English, I learned to read, I learned to write. I even learned a whole new language before I even knew the meaning of God, let alone what He did for us. I love the life I have. However, sometimes I think where I would be if I hadn't gone here, where I'd be if my loving parents hadn't adopted me from Ethiopia 15 years ago, where I would be if I grew up Christian or Catholic. Would my life be better or worse? I've met different groups of people throughout my life: black, white, atheist, agnostic, religious, trans, gay, straight, and all the rest. But one group that I haven't met is one undeserving of God's love. Whether they believe in Him or not, whether they curse His name or not, whether they go to church every week or not. Dr. Martin Luther King once said, all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics. The I Have a Dream speech is one of the most known and influential speeches in history, and that part stuck out to me most. I believe in the Holy Trinity. I believe that Jesus died on the cross. I believe in heaven and hell, and I believe in humanity. It hurts me just knowing that people use God's words to put others down or to make people think that they're less than the amazing people that they truly are in God's eyes. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Bia York Ferris, and this is my credo. The name Bia means bringer of joy. I try to be optimistic and happy in every situation of my life, and I think that way of thinking really helps me to both have a good time myself and to bring the community up as well. I always had a difficult relationship with religion. I knew I didn't believe in a lot of things, but it took me a while to figure out what I did believe in. From a very young age, I was asking questions and making broad statements about religion. My parents had told me to know what I'm talking about and that I should at least try to learn what I don't believe in. With that thought in mind, my time in coming of age was a lot more thorough. If I had an open mind, I didn't have to push things away before I learned about them. Here's what I've come to believe. I believe that there is no higher power, but instead the higher power is the people that we have near us and the feelings that we get when we are with them. I believe in love and respect for all people. I believe that it is okay to make mistakes as long as you acknowledge these mistakes. I don't know anything about the afterlife, and I don't care to know until that time comes. I would like to just live every day with a sense of happiness and joy for just being in the world at all. I believe in the unexpected goodness of people. Just when you most need it, something comes around and gives you a bit of hope for the world. This happened to me when I was at the airport flying from Boston to Tulsa from our coming of age trip. I was tired, as we all were, waiting for our flight, and hungry, so I tried to get a snack and my card was declined. I was about to put my snack back when this woman said that she would pay for my food. Times like this make me appreciate every kind stranger in the world, and it makes the world seem a bit lighter. I want to show kindness to everyone, no matter who you are, because everyone deserves a bit more happiness in their day. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Thomas Reese, and this is my credo. I believe in God. I'm a Christian who has a lot of questions. I don't know it all, and I'm still growing and learning. I believe in God can be found in music, all kinds of music. I attended a Christian church for a while, and the music during worship really connected me to God. When the coming of age class went to Boston, we attended a Unitarian Church service. I felt the presence of God there too. It was comforting, and I felt closer to God. I believe that our purpose in life is to live peacefully and enjoy life without doing bad things to others. I believe in heaven and hell Good people go to heaven, and those who do really bad things are punished for a while, but not forever, only until they pay for the wrong deeds. A quote from Daniel chapter 9, verse 9 reads, "The Lord our God is merciful and forgiving, even though we have rebelled against him." Jesus, as he was being crucified, cried, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." So I try to live with kindness, keep asking questions, and trust that God loves and mercy are bigger than anything we get wrong. And that's it.
I am Randall Johnson, but you can call me RJ. And this is my credo. I believe that all endings are just beginnings. We just might not know it at the time. When today ends, tomorrow will come. And when I lose something, or someone close to me, I find I must accept these not as finishes, but a new start. I adapt to change, as this will allow me to have a sense of fulfillment again. Not accepting change brings me no positive gains. I believe there's a flow and rhythm to life on earth and nature, from the quick fall of raindrops to the almost stagnant motion of the tectonic plates. And when we move on from earth into the afterlife, this flow continues. I believe that nobody is inherently evil. I believe that everyone has their own way of being, and this is beyond our control. I believe as time goes on, people will continue to grow and change, and that no one has a spiritually wrong path. I believe in a God, but that it is not physically conceivable in human forms. Human terms, sorry. Despite this, we can feel their presence when we are with the people who make us enjoy ourselves and lift us up in our spirits when we are hurting. We may also perceive God alone through moments of inspiration, deep thought, and peacefulness. Each person will experience God in their own way. I believe we are all one and separated by nothing beyond time and space. I believe we are never truly by ourselves because we have one another, and because we have the universe within us and the sacred between us. To quote Mitch Albom, "No life is a waste. The only time we waste is the time we spend thinking we are alone." Thank you.
Hi, my name is Larkin Carlson, and this is my credo. Growing up, I was Christian. I believed God was this big bearded man in the sky, that he had control over our actions, that he watched our every move. Quite frankly, I questioned how he would see everybody doing everything at the same time. My 6-year-old self came to the conclusion that he had a ton of TVs and watched us on that. Well, I'm not 6 anymore, and I've realized how unrealistic that was. But at the time, I truly believed it. And it really goes to show how much my beliefs have changed, such as my belief in God. I do not believe in a God or gods, although I feel like it would be nice to have someone looking over us. I believe in free will. I believe that people have the power to change, and that everything they do is of their own accord. I believe death is forever. I believe that when we die, we are sent to the ground to turn into a pile of bones, and we stay a pile of bones. I believe our consciousness dies with our brain, which I feel makes me cherish my time on Earth a lot more. After reaching this conclusion, I realized how much more important every minute is. My belief that there is no afterlife or resurrection has given me a different and more specific look on my life. I feel instead of trying to work to reach this afterlife, I'm working to fulfill myself. I believe presence is truly the most beautiful gift you can give, not only to yourself, but to others. Living in the moment and truly being present is vital to experiencing life. You will begin to notice and see things in a new light, and there is nothing more beautiful than holding a conversation with someone when both parties are entirely engaged. Before I went to Boston, I read the book Walden by Henry David Thoreau, and I came across a quote that really stuck out to me. "You must live in the present, launch yourself on every wave, find your eternity in each moment."
My name is Aaron Fries, and this is my credo. I am a Christian even though I'm not the best Christian. I haven't always believed in some aspects of God. Some things I can accept about God and some things I cannot. One of the things I love is how that he forgives everyone. When I was 14, I started attending a church with some friends for volleyball. I later started attending Bible study, and I really enjoyed it. I later started coming to All Souls, and at All Souls, I found out who my understanding of who my God is real. I believe no one is perfect, but growing in knowledge is part of each person's path. I believe people can change and that everyone deserves grace. I believe that there's a heaven and you go there when you die. But I don't believe that there's a hell. I don't believe someone should be in eternal pain forever. I believe that love comes naturally from God and that he will give you that love when you're ready for it, when you're ready to share it with others. This can take time, but love is part of our path. Thank you.
My name is Evan McCartney, and this is my credo. Some religious leaders describe events that seem like acts of God that convince them without a doubt that their religion is the one meant for them. Either that, or they just inherit their religion from their parents. None of these have happened to me, so the following are placeholder opinions, subject to change at the soonest convenient divine intervention. I believe that God is a very human concept for something decidedly non-human. I don't believe God exists in a form that humans have predicted, much less can comprehend. Nevertheless, I do believe in God. There has to be something tangible at the root of all religion. I believe that the Bible was a collection of short stories written by a person who wanted more good in the world. I believe that your conscience goes somewhere when you die, because moments before death, your body releases chemicals that cause you to see God and dead loved ones. I believe in science more than in divine reliance, in love more than the great above, in all of us more than Jesus. I am a Unitarian Universalist. But more than all of that, I believe that whether the earth originated from natural means or the personal attention of a divine entity, we're all very lucky to be alive. Thank you.
Thank you all who just shared your credos and the 9 who shared yours in the earlier service. I think you can see the diversity of belief that are among this class. There were also at the first service, for those who weren't here, there were 3 who identified as Christian. There were different forms of ideas about God and the universe and nature. And you can just see how tight this class is and how cooperative they are and how much they love and care about each other, even though they have different beliefs and different ways of seeing answering these ultimate questions. And I just have to say that if the rest of the world and the rest of our country were more like you and could get along across our differences, we'd have a much better place to live.